everyone, it's Cooking with Matthew. Today we're going to be doing some hoppin' Jhon. I've already got my rice cooked, my kale cooked. This is usually traditionally a black-eyed pea, basically like red beans and rice but with black-eyed peas. It's traditionally served with collard greens and cornbread. So I've got some cornbread in the oven still working, and I've got my bacon group. I got 4 strips of bacon in here already sauteed, and I'm going to show you what we got going on over here. I've got this where I can use that to saute my my little bit of vegetables. So I'm going to go ahead and I've got my mirepoix here, or my Holy Trinity here, and I've got a little garlic in there with it. We're going to go ahead and throw it in there. Some one onion, 1 bell pepper. I like the red better, but the red was twice the price, so I got the green. So, you know, if you can get the red, the red gives a little more color. I usually use white onion, but the red onion was a little bit cheaper too. I like both of them, but usually when I'm doing this, I just use the white onion. But the red onion does give it some pretty good color. We're just going to saute that around in there a little bit. Go ahead and get that, get them vegetables translucent. Like I said, I've already got my rice cooked. I'll show you what we got going on there with that. I cooked it in the oven. And we're going to mix all that stuff together. It's going to be sort of like a casserole. And like I said, here's my Holy Trinity getting sauteed up in that good old bacon grease. Trying to get all that little font up from it. Yeah, this dish was it's traditionally like a North South Carolina dish. It's a good New Year's Eve dish. I got my Conecuh sausage over here I'm gonna be putting in it. You can put pulled pork or pork loin, whatever you want to put. It's traditionally a smoked type of pork in it. We're going to saute that up a little bit. Now I'm going to add my Conecuh sausage to this. Go ahead and get it in there. Now me, normally, I will go ahead and add some red pepper flakes, or a fresh cayenne pepper, fresh habanero, or fresh jalapeno or something. So if you want a little bit of heat, but I'm taking this to my grandpa, and I'll probably take a little bit to my granny in the nursing home. So I'm trying to keep it where it's not spicy. So there'll probably just be some salt and black pepper added to this. I'm getting this good and stirred up now. I'm going to try to get it cooked. The sausage is pretty much already cooked. I'm just sort of heating it up really. It's been smoked and pretty much fully cooked. So what I'll do now is I just sort of eyeball and write down some measurements on some salt and pepper. I got this coarse sea salt here. I had some, there we go. So I'm going to add we'll do 1 tablespoon of coarse salt. 2 teaspoons of black pepper. I've already got some of these ingredients listed here. Okay, so I got these looking pretty good and translucent. So now I'm going to add my 2 cans of black-eyed peas. Juice and all. Like I said, this dish is usually just this with the rice, usually. I'm stepping the game up a little bit though, and It's going to be a little, and I like kale because kale the cook time on kale is a lot less than collard greens or turnip greens. I got this kale cooked fairly quick. I've got a recipe for that kale too that I can give y'all once we start mixing all this stuff together. Let's see, where's my lid? Go ahead and put a lid on this. I'll show you what we're looking like. I'm going to crank the volume up. This ain't going to take long at all. That's what it's looking like right now. I'm going to end up mixing all this stuff together in one big happy pot. Let's see, where'd that lid go? Here it is. I'm gonna end up mixing everything in this mixing bowl and then going back to the pot just to scoop it out of. So I got that going. Let's check on my cornbread. I'm doing a short video on the cornbread, so probably not gonna stop the taping so I'll be recording probably on that. Cornbread's finished. So I'm gonna alright, the cornbread's finished. Take it out of the oven, flip it over immediately, and most of it didn't stick, some of it did. You got to really oil these pans down real good. You got to pop it out as soon as it comes out of the oven. I'm trying to find a space for that because it's still hot. So I got my cornbread to go along with my hoppin' Jhon. I didn't do too bad a job, but I oiled the shit out of that thing, and it still want to stick a little bit. See where my bread knife is. Just put some new ones in here, I thought. Let's see, I'm going to put this over the side. I don't need to cut it right now. So I got that going. I can go ahead and start putting my rice in the bowl. We're fixing to start mixing this stuff up. Just took a little longer than like the rice I cooked ahead, and I started cooking them ahead, but by the time I got all my vegetables cut up for this, the kale was ready. If it had been collard greens, it would not have been ready. So I'm gonna take this lid off and get my little cool off enough for me to grab. We're gonna put all of our rice into the bowl. This is 1 pound of rice, by the way. To add that to our list. I just cooked it in the oven because it didn't take up no space. I like the way rice tastes in the oven. I use the parboil long grain rice. I probably could have oiled that down a little better. Alright, so this should be ready now. I'm going to go ahead and add our black eyed pea and vegetable mixture to it. And I may just end up serving the collard separate. Or the kale separate like it's supposed to be. I want to put that kale in there. Okay, so that's finished. Put this over here. Show y'all what the kale's looking like. That's the kale. I've got a recipe for that kale. What I did with it. So I'm going to end up We ain't gonna need all that juice in there. We'll get a little bit of it. This was 1 pound of kale. It came already chopped up in the bag. They sell that at Piggly Wiggly. I got excited. I found a new place to shop at up there in Birmingham. It's called Restaurant Depot. I went and bought a. That's pretty much all of it. I went and got a brisket. I'm gonna have a little family get together a couple Sundays from now. I'm gonna smoke a brisket. And this is what I got though. This is what I'm excited about. See, I've been talking to y'all about this black and red fish magic. I got that way cheap. Like you can't even buy the tubs like that at Piggly Wiggly or nothing. I got it so much cheaper up there. I got that whole thing for like 12 bucks. And it's like $6 for a little bitty one anywhere else. Alright, so I'm fixing to show y'all what this ends up looking like. Eat me some, I'm starving. Had no breakfast or nothing this morning. A little piece of this cornbread with it. I think everybody's going to be happy with this little dish today. Ain't got to cook, just to eat. Alright, so that's what we're looking like. That's the big bowl, and I'm going to end up transferring it back to my 5-quart pot to carry it and dish it out to the family. Alright, so I'm going to give y'all, I'm fixing to try it real quick. Gotta always test the food, see if it needs anything, because I can still season it here. I'm sure it should be fine. That's perfection. I'm ready to eat that. Alright, so the kale I cooked, I used 12 cups of water. 3 chicken cubes, bouillon cubes, 1 pound of kale, 1 onion, 4 pieces of bacon, 1 tablespoon of garlic salt, 1 teaspoon of black pepper. Then I went to now the mixture that y'all see me cooking that went separate. It was 1 pound of rice. I cooked 1 pound of rice separate. Put that down the bottom. So the other mixture is going to be 1 pound of smoked sausage. I used Kaneka, and so I was able to get the good sausage this time. 4 strips of bacon. You saute that first to cook your vegetables in. Then 1 tablespoon of fresh garlic, 1 bell pepper diced, 1 onion diced, 2 ribs of celery, 2 cans of black eyed peas. You can use the dry ones if you want. You got to. We're going to have to cook them separate though for a little longer. 2 teaspoons of black pepper, 1 tablespoon of coarse sea salt, and then the 1 pound of rice. And you just mix it all together. And it looks like that once it's all together. There's the recipe. And y'all have a blessed day. If you like what you've seen, like, share, and subscribe.